We said we weren't going to do it, but here we are for Starfleet Academy.
Screen on.
Screen on, sir.
What is the worst birthday present you ever got?
I watch birds.
I think I swallowed my comm badge.
I really thought this was going to be like a flash in the pan. You know, people were going to shit on it and then we're going to move on.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be. I'm a big Star Trek fan. I know you dabble.
I'm the casual fan.
You're the casual fan. I wouldn't call myself a Trekkie.
Back then, you
still got laid.
laid. Yeah.
I've seen all the shows. I've seen all the movies. I think the only things I haven't seen are maybe a few recent episodes of some of the newer shows, just because they are so fucking bad.
I've seen the movies.
Yes.
And I enjoy the movies a lot. Even some of the odd-numbered ones, the odd-numbered Star Treks get shit, you know? But
Yeah.
I even enjoy those.
Those are good too.
I even find some enjoyment in Star Trek V.
I enjoy Star Trek V.
Yeah, I know why it's shit, and I understand why people hate it.
I enjoy all of the original series films. Next Generation.
Insurrection sucks.
Yeah.
But
yeah, those aren't my go-tos.
Man, Generations kind of sucks too.
Generations.
Mostly because how they do fucking
They do
Kirk dirty.
super dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Not something I go to.
But First
often.
Contact, that's
First
the
Contact's
shit, dude.
fucking solid. This shit is so far removed from what Star Trek is and has been.
I haven't seen Discovery whatsoever.
Dude.
Star Trek is like how I feel about comic books, video games. I'm not really directly into them, but I will still watch videos on them because I want to know
Right.
what's going on in that world. You know what I
Right.
mean? And from what I've seen with Discovery, holy shit. And this just seems to continue that path forward. These fucking shows are painful to get through, man. Like, first of all, when you do a series, it's a commitment, because obviously it's much longer than just doing a movie. But man, this is a fucking slog to get through.
Yeah. So for this particular review, we're starting off with just the first 3 episodes. Obviously, we're a little late to the game here. So we're going to be
Yes.
playing catch up.
Right.
But we're going to do them in chunks until we're caught up to the weekly.
And we'll see how this does.
Yeah,
you
we'll
know?
see how you
We'll see how
guys
the interest is, you know?
react to it.
Right.
To see if we're going to actually finish the season out. But it's going to be rough. I grew up watching Star Trek because my dad loved Star Trek. So he got me into all the original series episodes. And then from there, Next Generation was actually on, when we were younger. So then
Yes.
I just segued right into that. And then all the shows started coming out around that time. DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, and I watched all of them, and I enjoyed all of them. And then that was kind of the end until JJ rebooted it. He did it in an interesting way. I know that movie gets a lot of shit.
I like the first one.
I actually enjoy the J.J. Abrams, the
you
first
do
one.
too, and most people that are into Star Trek hate the J.J. Abrams movies.
Yeah,
but
I was able to put it aside, being that it's an alternate timeline, and just kind of have fun with it.
yeah,
But as a one-off, fine. Then they just kept making more of them, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Now you're fucking with stories from the old movies.
Well, and I always felt that Star Trek Into Darkness is like an entertaining film, but
yeah,
they tried doing
they fuck with something they shouldn't have touched.
Yeah, you don't touch Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And that movie does. So it's hard to separate the comparisons to Wrath of Khan. And it's such a downgrade to the original Wrath of Khan.
Oh, yeah.
I was never really fully able to get into that movie, and the third one is just so fucking lame. But, in terms of reboots and reinvigorating the series,
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams did an okay job, but I understand why people don't like it. It doesn't really feel like your dad's Star Trek.
No, they definitely took some liberties.
Yes.
And it gets away from, I mean, a lot of the movies kind of do this though. That's the burden the movies carry, is that it's not that like exploration, creature of the week type.
No, they make
story.
it more accessible
It's
for
more
audiences.
accessible for general audiences.
Yes.
So that the threats become more like universal. You know,
Right.
they're up against something that's going to end the whole Earth or
Right. Well,
destroy the whole Federation, instead of like them just exploring out on a planet and coming up against some moral dilemma or something.
Yeah, there's that cerebral moral
Yeah,
dilemma
yeah.
is not
Which is-
really present in maybe the Star Trek 1, but
The motion picture?
yes.
yeah, that's a different discussion. But the movies, like, I kind of give those a pass just because of the way they're presented to audiences. They're not the shows, right? So the new movies, the JJ movies, they kind of carried that tradition. So it's like, okay.
That's how I saw it too.
Yeah, I can let it slide a little bit. And then the movies just kind of got worse and worse. And then, that's when we really got into the Kurtzman.
That's what's so funny is like the way I look at this show is the same way the people that don't like the J.J. Abrams movies complain
Yeah.
about those movies.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it now, I guess.
Right.
But I think that even if you hate the J.J. Abrams movies, there's no denying that this show is way more retarded than
Oh my God,
than those
not even
movies.
close.
Yeah, I would rather watch fucking Star Trek Into Darkness.
Oh, same. 100 times over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This show just does not feel like Star Trek at all. The first 3 episodes especially.
No.
You don't have like those episodes where it's like the moral dilemma of that episode. It's trying to be like this adventure story, but at the same time, massively stupid CW.
Yeah.
This show is seriously retarded.
When you think about the concept of Starfleet Academy, I'm not opposed to the idea behind the show. I think in the right hands, you can do something very cool with that.
Right.
The approach they took was, okay, let's take all these cadets, we'll just put them in San Francisco, and that's where the show, for the most part, takes place. There's a show where these cadets are just like out having adventures on a starship in space the entire show.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been a little more palatable right off the bat. You look at like episode 1, where they actually encounter a dilemma in space on their way back to Earth while the cadets are all there. And it's like, okay, here's your opportunity to fuck shit up, where now they're kind of like stuck and they can't go back
Exactly.
to Earth, and school's in session.
They're
Now
learning on the job.
They're learning on the job.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a much cooler approach.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of dial down the angsty, trauma-laden bullshit that's just in the DNA of this show. I would have been more interested.
Oh, and that's the problem with the show.
Well, yeah.
It's like the modern
Yes.
teenager,
Yes.
basically. And that's the weird thing about the show. First of all, every iteration of Star Trek that I've seen, it's like timeless in the sense that you're just dealing with human beings, and it does. You can watch an episode of the Next Generation.
Yeah.
And
You're dealing with these morally gray and like philosophical conundrums that are timeless, like you said.
yeah, it doesn't feel like oh, we're watching something in the '90s from the '90s,
Right.
and we're dealing with like '90s.
No, the
adults.
only way you'd know you're watching something from the 60s or the 90s is
Just
the
the way-
aesthetic. It's
yeah,
the way it looks. That's it. There's some episodes of the original series that I still watch
Right.
that are just so good, and you could take that dilemma and drop it into
Doesn't
today,
matter.
and it doesn't
Right.
fucking matter.
Yeah, well,
Like,
but for whatever reason, this show, they felt like they needed to we need to tailor this to the way
to the current
Gen
generation
Z or
what,
teenagers,
what they
the way
care
that they,
about.
yeah, and how they act. So it's also weird because this show takes place thousands of years into the future.
There's like
whatever.
1,000 years past.
Kirk, past Next
Yeah,
Generation,
yeah, yeah.
whatever. Yet they're more retarded.
Oh, they're way more retarded.
Like this is borderline idiocracy.
Yeah, and it starts off with Holly Hunter's little opening monologue saying like, "Oh yeah, we're gathering the best and the brightest."
But see, it's
But-
not even.
and then-
It's not
and then,
even
like,
just the
the worst-
teenagers that are retarded. Like
No, the adults are
she's
too.
fucking stupid.
Yeah,
but she acts
and-
like a fucking 5-year-old. Anytime I see her, like, I'm like, get your fucking feet off the chair, you dumb bitch.
It just- especially once they get back to Earth and she's just walking around barefoot. Like, sit up.
You know what I
You're a
kept-
goddamn Starfleet captain.
I know, like, show some fucking respect. No, I keep thinking, like, man, this is a Holly Hunter from like Always, and like these really great movies. And like,
Yeah.
I want to go back in time. Here's a moral dilemma. Here's a Star Trek moral dilemma. The Holly Hunter that's in Always, you know, show her how she's going to act later on
Yeah.
in her career. She'd be fucking mortified.
Yeah. And as the show goes on, her character gets more and more insufferable.
Yeah, because the first episode, she sucked, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
she wasn't that bad yet.
Yeah.
And then in episode 2, holy shit. It's just, I mean, she had some dumb lines in the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
everything out of her mouth was just
Yeah,
some
like-
kind of like, we need social justice. And
Oh, yeah, like, what did she say? Like, oh, separating kids from their parents.
dude, it's like all these buzzwords
Yeah,
for like current issues.
Right.
You are 900 years past where you were in the future in the old shows. These issues should not be the same. They shouldn't even be close to the same.
and I know the argument always is Star Trek's always been progressive. Star Trek has always been an outlet to take modern themes and like...
Yeah. The show has always been progressive because it shows this like future utopia with the Federation and like what this amazing future for us as humans could look like.
Right.
Right? But the moral dilemmas and the philosophical dilemmas that they're dealing with still feel universal. They don't feel like they're just catered to one side.
Exactly,
When you go
yeah.
back and watch, like, my favorite episode of the original series is The City on the Edge of Forever. That episode is literally about, do we let somebody die who we know is going to die for the greater good? And you see how these characters have to deal with it and what they decide to do, because it's not always because of what's right, it's because of what has to happen, you know? It makes you think. And that story, you drop it in 1963 or whatever, or you drop it in 2026, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the exact same. This show, like you said, it just feels like we're honing in on like CNN headlines from today.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. I can't stand like, oh, it's always been progressive. Look, just because something is inherently progressive, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily always right. There are different time periods where perhaps the progressives are right about things, but then there are other times in history where they're not.
Yes.
And that's currently where we are, you know? So it's just, when you hear them talk about things that like, you know, they basically want to bring up Trump, but they never bring up Trump.
How do we do that
Exactly.
in the 32nd century?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, guys, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, stop. Let's like bring up issues that are universal and transcend modern, you know, 2026 politics.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yes.
I might actually enjoy Star Trek again. Like I have my whole fucking life.
This is garbage, dude. This shit fucking sucks.
But, you know, let's actually like dive into some of these characters and how the show is set up, because we did say we were going to review episodes 1 through 3 in this, although we're going to truncate it quite a bit because it's 3 episodes for this. But right off the bat, we knew, I think we both like had the same thought.
My first note is fucking She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, she's the first character that
Yeah.
speaks in this show, and it's immediately like, fuck you.
Yep, exactly.
Tatiana Maslany is the first character that shows up in this show.
When she's
first
attached
actress,
to anything,
and it's like,
she's just poison. You know exactly what you're in for.
yeah, you know, this kind of sets up the.
And I had no idea she was in this. Now, granted,
Well, she's not really.
right. She hasn't played a prominent role yet, even though you know she's going to come back.
She
in.
eventually.
Sure.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they put her in there, it just tells
Right.
you everything you need to know where their mindset is on the
Yeah.
show.
But she shows up in the beginning as something for one of our main characters. He is searching for his mom the whole series because they get separated when he's a child. She goes to prison. Her and Paul Giamatti teamed up to steal some food from the Federation, and a Federation officer got killed. But the Federation's at fault.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's the other thing. Everyone's like, oh, poor Caleb, poor his mom, poor this. Does anyone not think about his fucking mom? She shouldn't have been doing that shit in the first place.
Right.
It's all her fault.
Yeah. But crime is okay when you're hungry. And for some reason, replicators, you know,
That's the other thing too.
not a thing.
That's what's stupid about having replicators in the universe, because now they want to try to have those moral dilemmas of like starving and like desperation when you're hungry.
Yeah, that's
but
not
you
really
can't-
an issue.
It's not an issue anymore. So
Yeah.
stop fucking pretending like it is.
Yeah, not every corner of the universe is going to have fucking replicators, but still,
Sure.
it's like,
They had replicators 1,000 years ago.
yeah,
At this point,
right at this point, like, okay. This is where we also introduce Holly Hunter's character, and she has her little introduction with how she's tied to Caleb, how she's tied to Paul Giamatti's character, because she sentences Caleb's mother to prison, and then Caleb becomes a ward of the Federation. But Caleb ends up escaping, becoming a criminal, and going out on his own.
and she blames herself.
And she blames herself,
because
right?
she should have just kept Tatiana and her son together.
You shouldn't separate
She should have
children
separated-
from
yes,
parents,
exactly.
right? That becomes a big sticking point. So that kind of sets the scene for, you know, where the whole show is going. But the actual backdrop of this is something that, you know, you didn't watch any of Star Trek Discovery. The burn, the reason the galaxy has gone to shit is because of events that took place in Star Trek Discovery, which we're not going to get into because it's fucking
course, yeah.
retarded. Most of the dilithium in the known galaxy just like decided to, you know, go inert, and it caused all these antimatter drives to just explode, and it destroyed like starships and planets and like reactors all over the place, and it just fucked up everything. So the Federation has been in shambles, and now we're 100 years after that event, and now they're getting Starfleet Academy's coming back again.
Right. Okay.
So Holly Hunter gets tapped to basically run
The new,
Starfleet
yes,
Academy.
the new academy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
She's reluctant, of course, but she comes back, and this is where we get introduced now to all of our young, brightest, smartest, best of the best cadets who, okay. These characters, most of them are retarded, but the way they build them up over these episodes, they're basically just like, it's like X-Men First Class. They're all just a bunch of super-powered characters who, they can't just be normal people who are either smart or they have one kind of like, you know, maybe a unique skill. No, they have to have like a fucking superpower.
Yeah, it's like the show is also still kind of jumping on that Marvel success.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be like fucking wrapped up in a Marvel skin now. I mean, even the burn is basically just the snap from
Yeah,
the
kinda,
Avengers.
yeah, kinda.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So they have to have their own version of the snap.
Right, the burn, yeah. Obviously, we're following now Caleb, who is older, a criminal on the run, and he gets caught, and then Holly Hunter's like, oh no, you're gonna come be a cadet at Starfleet. I'm gonna help you find your mom, because I gotta right that wrong.
And this fucking guy is like a block of wood, dude.
Oh my God.
And
So-
of course, you know, the protagonist, the guy that we're kind of following through, seeing the Starfleet through his eyes.
Yeah,
You know,
evil Starfleet.
evil Starfleet. You know,
Yeah.
the good, ethnically diverse. You know, I will say the guy's in great fucking shape.
He's
dude.
in good shape.
Like he's
Yeah.
this dude's
Yeah.
shredded.
Physicality, sure.
Yeah.
He's like next level hacker, engineer. He's got all these skills that are like, okay, you've been reading a lot of books in prison, I guess, you know.
Sure.
But they have to stack his deck with just unlimited skills.
Right. It seems like anytime they're in a jam, he just knows what to do.
Oh, I know how to bypass that.
I can bypass
Connect
it. Yeah,
this
yeah,
and do this,
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
And now this is, as they start introducing these cadets, you start to realize how ineffective the adults and the mentors are in this show. The problems pop up, and all the adults are like, oh no, we have this problem. And then the cadets come together, they solve the problem, and the adults are like, way to go. You're learning a lot here at school.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're learning dick from you people.
Yeah.
Because you people aren't solving shit.
Right. And it's almost like they're surprised at like how smart the kids are.
Whoa. Wow. It's like they don't even need us as mentors.
Yes.
And you'd think maybe the cadets should be learning some things from them, and then the adults are actually doing some good shit, and then the kids like help here and there. So they're working together. But overall, it should be the adults solving the big problems. You
Or at
can't
least giving them the guidance.
or giving them the guidance to go do
Right.
it. Now, there are times where, yeah, they might give the kid like a little push, but then the kid is just doing everything.
Well, the only time that I can think of in this show where like the adults were kind of steering them in the right direction is so they can pull off a
have their
fucking
prank war.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
But everything else, it's like whenever they're kind of pitted up against something that's serious, the kids are triumphant, and like the adults are just like, wow, you guys are so fucking smart.
We would all be dead if like these kids hadn't helped us out.
Yeah, so it's
How'd
just,
you get this far?
it's like that modern thing where Gen Z is like always validated with whatever they do.
Right. They always they know better than the millennials.
They know better. Yes,
They know
exactly.
better than
yes.
Gen X.
Right.
They know better. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of angsty pussies, but at the same time, like they're smarter and better
Right.
than
They're all anxiety ridden, but they're somehow superior in every way.
yeah.
Because you meet some of these cadets, like fucking Jaden, the Klingon, who, okay.
Oh my God.
It's like he's trying to do an imitation of Worf,
He's terrible.
and he fucking sucks.
Yes.
He talks like a robot.
Sounds like a robot. It's almost like
and it
they're doing
sounds like
some
his
sort of
voice
like
is
audio
modulated
yeah.
because his balls haven't dropped yet.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you know anything about the actor,
No, I don't know
they
anything
really
about the
haven't.
actor.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So he's.
I assumed.
Yeah. He's a pacifist
Pacifist Klingon.
who doesn't eat meat and might be playing for the other team. You know,
Oh, see, I haven't seen that yet.
we're only stopping at episode 3.
I've only
for
watched
this.
1 through 3.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I've watched through 6 already.
Right. So,
but
I assumed though.
Yeah. We're gonna get to those subsequent episodes. So they're introducing all these cadets, and as they're on their way back to Earth, they get attacked by
Paul Giamatti's character.
Paul Giamatti's character, and
I don't even remember his name.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then of course the kids have to step up and basically fix everything,
Of course.
right? So then you get tough guy, who I can't remember his name either. We'll just call him Brad.
Right. He's basically like Beast.
He's Beast. He just like
morphs into a different
turns into it, like his
blue
skin changes,
thing. Yeah.
and then he could just walk out in space.
Right. He can survive out in space longer than humans can.
So you start seeing some of these superpowers creeping in. I mean, it's Caleb's fault that they even find them in the first place, but they all kind of band together and basically save the ship.
Well, and that's
Okay?
something else about Caleb. He's going to be one of those characters who constantly is fucking things up for the whole crew.
Yeah.
And any normal, sane, rational person that's watching this is going to lose patience in him.
Yeah.
But yet they're always going to make him come out on top at the end.
Of course.
And be seen as the hero at the end. And it's like, fuckers, you're in this shit because of him in the first place.
Yeah.
If you do that 1 or 2 times, okay. But I guarantee you, the way this show's going to go, he's constantly going to be doing that.
Yeah, because he's kind of like a central figure in the show who a lot of characters are pulled towards. Like,
Yeah, he's like
Paul
they're
Giamatti
orbiting around
and
him,
like
basically.
Holly Hunt. Yeah, they're orbiting around him. He's so important because it's all about finding his mom. Gotta find his mom. I can't think of a storyline in this show that I give a shit about less.
Same. Anytime they come back to that, I'm like,
Who fucking cares?
It's
Like,
there-
I
it's
understand, like,
bogged
this guy
down,
wants
man.
to see his mom again. That's great for him. But the overall, like, story that's going on, it's such an afterthought. They get back to Earth. You start to meet now some of these other adult characters. A couple of characters from Discovery. I love Robert Picardo.
oh, he's great.
And he plays the character pretty much the same as he
yeah,
did on
but it's
Voyager.
like, it's like embarrassing watching him do it for some
yeah,
reason.
at this point now, like, he's still doing like, it was funnier when it was on Voyager,
Yeah.
just because that character playing off of all of these competent adults. Now he's supposed to be like this mentor figure. This is an academy for the best and brightest. This is supposed to be kind of that, I guess, like college era, right? So you are going to get people very like excited and everything, but you are going to get very studious people. You are going to
Yeah.
get very smart
They're
people.
gonna
They're going to be very competent.
Yes.
You're not going to get fucking dump truck chicks who swallowed their comm badge
oh my
and then
God.
just get hit with anxiety attacks every 5 seconds. Like, wash that bitch out.
Exactly.
Bye-bye.
Right.
You're not Starfleet material.
Every single one of these characters should be smart. You can have some be cockier than others.
Oh, sure,
you
that's
know,
fine.
Things like that. But in terms of like intellect, all of them need to be at the top of their game.
Yeah,
Every single one of them.
fucking Kirk, he was cocky as fuck.
Yes.
I don't like to lose, you
Right.
know? That shit has always existed. It's just, you don't hear stories about, oh, I had so much anxiety, I swallowed my comm badge.
That comm badge thing, I had seen the clips before watching the show of
Yeah.
that. That's not taken out of context.
No.
That just is some
She
fat,
just says that.
dumpy, retarded Starfleet person. She just ate her comm badge for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. And that character keeps popping up.
And every time I see her, I want to fucking punch her in the
Red
face.
alert, red alert. red alert, red alert, red alert. We know it's a red alert. Now, yeah, you're a cadet, but how you react in these situations, everybody's watching, and you keep failing. So there's the door. Maybe Starfleet isn't for you.
Or maybe, you can work on the starships, just maybe in the sanitation department or something,
Maybe there's an opening for a cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Once they're all back, and we get to episode 2 now, we're not in space anymore. And this was the one thing that I thought could have worked well, is if they had stayed in space.
Yes, exactly.
That learning on the job thing. But then you're like, okay, now we're just at the academy, and what's going to be the dilemma this week? But it just continues.
And that's why it doesn't feel like Star Trek.
Right.
And now you know what they're going for. They're going for that like teen angst show where they're like in college, basically.
Yeah.
I am not interested at all because I can't relate to them. When you watch a movie or a television show where it's like a bunch of teenagers, you were a teenager at one point, so you can reflect on those years of your life and you can relate to those characters.
Yeah.
This, I can't relate to any of them because they're all fucking stupid, or they just think very highly of themselves. The self-importance is off the charts. Speaking of insufferable characters.
Sam, dump truck. The diabetes.
I could just smell her.
Yeah, that was.
You can tell that she like doesn't fucking shower in real life. Like she goes to Brown.
Yeah.
Damn well in real life she has a nose ring. She doesn't like use soap products. She doesn't use deodorant. I could just smell that like circa 2015 SJW on campus.
Yeah. But wait a minute, she's neurodivergent. That seems to be a common trait.
Anytime she's on screen.
You just want to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, you guys racist because she's black. Don't fucking care.
Yeah.
She's just the black version of the girl that swallowed her comm badge.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I hate
and they have
both
like
characters
they
equally.
like share a moment where the comms badge chick gets annoyed because she's stealing all the anxiety in the room. What is this? What the fuck are we watching?
Oh my God. This chick is in this show for one reason and one reason alone: mud diversity. They couldn't have picked just like a black chick. They had to find like the dumpiest, frumpiest.
She's a hologram. She could literally be a 10.
Yes,
Like-
she's beastly, dude.
They could have cast like the hottest black chick out there.
Yes, it would have been great.
Way, way better.
It would have been great.
You're a hologram. You could literally look
there
like
would be
whatever you want.
like zero
You chose
problems.
to look like you have, what is it, type 2 diabetes?
Yes, she's got to take her holographic insulin like every couple hours. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
I don't want to be a dick, but she's so fucking insufferable
She
that
really
I don't
is.
care.
She really is. Contrasted to like some of the other female cadets, like
There's actually some attractive girls on the show.
Genesis
Yes.
is a cute girl.
Yeah.
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 And then in episode 2, they bring in what's going to ultimately end up being, the love triangle, the Beta,
Right.
the Betazoid, Beta Z.
She's
girl.
very annoying, but she's kind of I think she's kind of cute. So
She's kind of cute.
Yeah.
She's the same race as Deanna Troi from
Yes.
Next Generation, except she's a little different. She's a little better.
she's a little superior.
She's a little superior. She's like fucking Jean Grey.
They make her Jean Grey.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen what happens.
With where they go, she's
Right.
basically Jean Grey.
Right.
So she gets introduced as the daughter of the head of Beta Z. I don't remember the actual name of the planet, Betazoid, Beta Z, whatever, which left the Federation. And now the whole episode is just about them trying to lure the Betas.
Which was a very weak plot. And
Yeah.
the way they end up convincing them to come back in, it was
the kids.
It was so
Yeah,
underwhelming.
but it's just funny. Like they have their negotiations in front of all the kids.
Yeah.
In front of the cadets. Like instead of like closed doors negotiations, they do it in front of all the cadets, and then they make these bullshit arguments like the kids are the future. And this and that. Shut up.
Embarrassing.
Shut up. They don't know anything. They're kids. They're here to learn. Now, obviously, if you want to say like, oh, they should sit down and watch to learn how we're going to negotiate. But the fact that the adults completely failed at it, the professionals in the room completely failed, and it was the kids. This is just like what's going to happen now every episode.
Yes, exactly.
The kids are going to step up and solve every problem. So like, first of all, they never would have gotten out of that situation in episode 1. They'd all be dead. The Betas would have never joined the Federation again. It's just every episode. Caleb, man, he falls hard for the Beta girl, and you think he's going to be with Genesis, but
And that's weird too, because at first Genesis is a little like, oh, even though she was like kind of being dumb with him.
Yeah.
And now that he's interested in someone else, of course, she's like,
oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then they kind of just abandoned that.
It has remained abandoned
Yeah.
for half the season.
Right. So, I mean, it's one of those things that'll probably pop up later on, but they could have had that dynamic going between the three of
Sure,
them.
yeah. If we're going to discuss like the Dawson's Creek angle, you got to have the neighbor and you got to have the new girl.
Exactly.
Right? And you got to have, the triangle has to be present at all times.
Yeah,
that's what you're going for.
It's just sort of non-existent now. And that's one thing that could have been, if you're going to do a teenage show, there you go. You got to have that.
It's a staple.
Exactly.
The triangle has to be
They just kind of got rid of it. And I'm like, okay, he's just very much into Beta Chick. And
oh, yeah, now he's like got only eyes for her.
Exactly.
And Genesis, she's like, well, I'm not going to chase him. I got Brad over here. I got Beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole episode is just fucking slog. Oh, and fucking Holly Hunter. This is when you start getting now the War College side coming in. Mm-hmm. And you meet the Chancellor of the War College.
The slimiest looking dude.
I know.
You know?
I feel like he should be playing Slugworth in Willy Wonka or something.
Yes.
This guy. And of course they're gonna make him a fucking either like an idiot or completely inferior to Holly Hunter.
He's
because he's the head of
getting
the
one-upped.
war. He's constantly getting one-upped. They lay the groundwork for that in episode 2.
Of course.
You know.
They can't make him like a worthy adversary, you know?
No.
Someone who gets his digs in there every now and then. No.
But this is where like Holly Hunter's walking around now with just like no shoes on. And he's like,
put some fucking shoes on.
where are your like regulation boots? She's like, I just like walking around with my bare feet so the electrons could get up into my feet. Mushmouth over here. Jesus.
Dude, yeah. She's kind of struggling.
A little bit. It's like the fillers in her face like hardened.
Yeah.
And she could always talk like this. So she can't really
I mean, she's always kind of talked like that too, but
Yeah,
now on
but-
top of that, her face is solidified.
her face. It's like she had a stroke.
Yeah.
Not like half her face, but just the bottom half of her face. I don't know, man.
What the fuck happened to Holly Hunter?
I don't know.
This is embarrassing. And then speaking of other insufferable adults, what about her Klingon?
Oh my God, her second, number 1. Now, she's half Klingon, half Jem'Hadar.
Okay.
Now,
Is that why she's that color that she is?
that's why she looks a little different.
Yeah.
The Jem'Hadar were in Deep Space Nine. They are manufactured, grown warriors that the Dominion use as like soldiers, basically.
I see,
So like
okay.
they don't reproduce.
I got you. All right.
There's no like female Jem'Hadar. So they just left that hanging out there. I don't know if they're gonna like address that later in the show or if they're just that like they don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't know.
It can go either way.
I don't know. Maybe you guys, maybe the true Trekkies out there can shed some light on this.
Right. Maybe there's some lore that you're
Maybe
not
there's some lore that I'm
remembering.
missing.
You're not privy to.
Yeah. Maybe there's a book I haven't read or something. But she's another one who's out there teaching physical fitness, and
Well-
she looks like a fucking wet bag of cement.
Yeah, and she's part Klingon, so she's like a hard ass, and like she's there like yelling and screaming at the students, and like they're intimidated by her, but she just sounds stupid. You would not
I don't
be
know why
afraid of this
anyone's afraid
person
of her.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
And of course, you find out that she's, munching on one of the other adults' carpets.
So she
Fucking,
is with
what's her name?
Tig.
Tig. Oh God.
She's with Tig, a carryover from Star Trek Discovery.
Much like She-Hulk, whenever you see her fucking face.
Dude, she is.
This chick's supposed to be a comedian in real life?
Oh, have you ever seen one of her specials?
No.
Oh my God. The character she plays in this is exactly how she is like when she's
That's what
walking
I
on
assumed.
stage. That's how she is like in real life. She just plays herself basically.
Much like She-Hulk, when you see her, it's
Yeah, you
over.
just know like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, we're in for some kind of modern lecture. So we welcome Beta Zed back into the Federation. The Beta girl and her brother, they end up going to school there. But she ends up joining the War College.
She joined Slytherin.
She joins Slytherin. And the brother joins...
Yeah, and that's the other
the
thing
Academy.
too. It's not just like, plugging in the Avengers shit into Star Trek. It's also oddly Harry Potter as well.
Little bit.
Instead of magic, it's just sci-fi shit.
Yeah, they're going to classes now, right?
Yeah.
So they're in like xenobiology. He's carrying
Exactly.
around, you got to carry around
Yes.
this bucket of mucus. And if
Right.
it gets on you, it's like...
You
know?
just reminded me of something. You were talking about students in classrooms, made me think of Starship Troopers, and then it made me think of those ads in this show
Yes.
that are direct copies of the propaganda pieces in Starship Troopers.
Yep.
Like the music sounds the exact fucking same, and like beat for beat, it's those propaganda ads
Yeah.
in Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
But done way more retarded.
Yes.
And like that made me just fuck you with this show, you know, like
And yeah,
don't steal from Starship Troopers, man.
dude, it's
fuck
got
off.
You got Stephen Colbert is the voice of the school in the background,
Oh
like
my god,
cracking his little unfunny jokes.
that's pretty much on brand for Stephen Colbert nowadays. though.
Now we get to the laser tag episode.
Jesus Christ, fuck this episode.
So
You
now
get to
we're
see
just
them working as a team.
Yeah, they gotta work now against the War College. Except they do the whole prank war thing. Holly Hunter and then the War College guy are like encouraging it, and it ultimately ends up with something like really shitty happening that displaces the War College students. Like just totally fucks them over.
Yeah.
and it's just like totally fine. Like there's like no reprimanding at all.
Yeah,
like
it's just
when-
like, oh, you guys got him.
Yeah, they're like constantly breaking the rules throughout these episodes at the school, and there's very little in the way of consequences. Like, yeah, they get caught and they get yelled at, and it's like, oh, you have to do like 10 hours of community, whatever. It just doesn't feel like there's any stakes. Like, no one has ever mentioned like you're going to be expelled.
Yeah, well,
If like you do one more thing like this, you're fucking expelled.
yeah, exactly. And on top of it, the Caleb guy, who's the rebel, he's got that extra layer of plot armor because
Yeah.
Holly Hunter just feels bad for what she did. So no matter what he does, he's fucking safe.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what he does. We're gonna do tryouts now to see who leads these teams, and we have 100-pound soaking wet little Genesis up against Beast Guy
Chad.
and somehow they go toe to toe in the physicality department.
Of course.
Of course they do.
Yes.
Of course. And just from the moment you see that little rivalry start, you know that regardless of what you're watching, by the end of that episode,
She is gonna be
she is
team
going to be the
captain.
team captain.
Yeah.
That's the only route.
Yeah, and
That's the only
not
route.
only that, he's going to see the errors of his way.
Oh, and does he?
Yes.
And not only is he going to see the error of his ways, he is going to openly apologize to her in front of everybody else.
And admit that she's a better captain than him,
Correct.
than he ever could be.
Ever could be. Another thing with these characters is the inconsistency. Like when he starts getting into his backstory about how he's had to like just be so perfect his whole life and train and be studious, and that there's no reason why he wouldn't be a good captain.
Exactly.
Except when they start playing the game, he just completely falls apart.
Well,
When they have their little midnight skirmish.
but at first when they're competing, like they're on that point system and they're tied, you know, and like of course he uses his toxic masculinity to beat her the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
And the way he beats her is so fucking lame, and it's so obvious what he was doing, but she
Right,
falls
because
for it.
yeah.
And it's like the fact that she falls for it, that just means that she is a shitty leader.
Yes.
Because it was so
He completely
it was so
distracts her in
obvious.
2 seconds.
And it was obvious what he was doing.
Yeah.
And like, is that
And-
shitty? Sure.
Yeah.
But again, from like her
But
point
even
of
then,
view,
it was so distracting to her that she
Right.
just stopped playing the game.
yes, exactly. She
lost.
stops. She lose. Yeah, it's so dumb. And it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna lose that when he was just like saying things to you and you fucking
Yeah, what are you
folded
gonna do in the
under
field?
emotional pressure?
Yeah.
Like it's just dumb.
But then once they get out in the field, when they're actually playing the game that night, that guy buckles like a belt, and she's out there like, "You're doing it all wrong. We got to do this. We got to do that." And all of a sudden, she's like this great leader now.
Right. And he looks at her like, man, she's so good.
Man, she's just the best.
I gotta
That's when
sit
that,
this
that
one
was the
out.
moment when he turned into like her simp. And now, as the show has gone on, he's just like, "You're just so good. You're just so great. You're so wonderful." She's never gonna respect you now.
He was the only character that I kind of was okay with.
Yeah, because he was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
But he was also somebody who's going to be part of their crew. So you know he's going to be someone you have to root for. But I don't think the writers behind this show are capable of writing a character who is that complex.
No.
Because now they have to flip him to the point where, like, yeah, he's got his little rivalry with Caleb, but he's totally flipped who he was when they met him.
Exactly. Right.
Completely flipped.
Like the idea of a character being cocky, that's almost seen as like a toxic masculinity trait.
Yeah.
So these writers just don't know what to do with those kinds of
It's
characters.
like every scene now where he should be cocky now, he's just like, "Oh, you're just better at it than me."
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Just lets her take over now.
Like, I guess Caleb is still cocky
Sure,
at times.
right.
You know, but
But in that sensitive way.
in that sensitive way.
Yeah. He's cocky in the sense of like when a female tells you what women want,
Yeah.
And it's like listening to women about like what other women want is like the worst idea you could possibly fucking do.
Yeah.
Why would you, if you're a fisherman, why would you listen to the fish when it comes to like teaching you how to catch fish? Right. No, you don't. You listen to other fishermen.
Exactly.
And that's what this is.
Yeah.
It's like just like bullshit fantasy.
Yeah. But like as they're playing this game now, and they're getting their asses beat by the little tiny Romulan Asian chick and the Vulcan kid. This entire time, they've had Sam on their team, who can't take a laser blast.
She's a fucking hologram.
She's a fucking hologram. So just the fact that she's there and their main strategy is not just have her just walk right up and have the lasers go right through her and, shoot the mascot. She shouldn't even be allowed to play the game.
They kind of do that though, but that should have been the primary strategy from up front.
They do that later.
They use it as like a way man.
We finally got a point.
Yes.
It's like, how did none of you think to do that?
Right.
Wait, why are you letting a hologram on your team? She can't take laser blasts.
Right. Why is she even allowed to be on involved in this
that wouldn't
fucking
be
game?
Exclusive.
Oh, that's yeah.
We
that's
can't
true.
be exclusive.
Right. That'd be
doesn't matter what
making
kind
her
of
sit in
fucking
the back of the bus.
crazy advantage she has. She should still be allowed to play. The War College keeps pranking the shit out of the Academy cadets, and they keep like announcing it on the loudspeakers, like these videos, like to everybody. How are you guys not getting in trouble for what you're doing? And you're fully taking credit for it, like in front of everybody, but there's like no consequences. It's because the chancellors are on board with all this shit, and then the whole time now you have Holly Hunter with the whole plant thing, trying to explain to them that the only attribute a real leader needs to win any situation is empathy.
Empathy.
But leaders have lots of different traits.
This show is so fucking feminine, female coded, because they're using empathy as if like that is the superior trait to win all.
Or the only trait that you need to win in a situation.
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's one tool in your tool bag of ways to lead.
But again, they're prioritizing that
yes, they're
human
prioritizing
emotion
like
over everything
else. It's the only thing that fucking
Yes,
matters.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's how fucking beta and pussy this show is.
Yeah. So they take this plant and they put it in the War College, like I guess in their dorm rooms or something, and then it like grows and explodes. And then they pull some bullshit like, oh, well, it's like you can't like remove it because it's a living species.
It's like an endangered plant species or something.
They literally can't live in their rooms anymore.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Right.
Gotta burn that shit down.
They destabilize their region. So where are they going to go?
Right.
They're without a home now.
Yeah. So of course, the cadets get the one up on the War College. They all learn the importance of empathy. I guess that brings us up to where you've seen so far.
That's it.
Yeah. I know we're kind of like leaving out a lot of the smaller details with some of these episodes, but we're packing a lot into one video right now. So
I mean, we're hitting all the major points as to why this show fucking sucks though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, when I first started watching it, I did not like it, but to me it just felt like just a shitty TV show.
Yeah.
It's just as it goes on though, it gets worse.
Yes.
But basically, Star Trek has always been and always should be for the fucking nerds. But they're taking Star Trek and they're trying to not just like what the movies do, how we talked about earlier, where they try to like make it, accessible for audiences, general audiences.
Yeah.
No, they're trying to tailor this to the Gen Z crowd, to the SSRI crowd. But what they don't get is they don't care about Star Trek, and it doesn't matter how much you tailor it to them.
No.
It's not for them, and they're not going to give a shit. So they're trying to tailor this to an audience that, once again, does not exist.
So it's funny, like you say, it's not for them. I always think of Star Trek as being literally for anyone that wants to sit down and watch Star Trek, whether you are that particular person or us or whoever. Like,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because Star Trek has always been about these universal themes it should speak to literally anyone who watches the show. Now, if you might not be a fan of like the sci-fi backdrop, that's where, you know, the personal preferences come in. But
the humanity, the human themes that are
the
in
themes,
these shows are universal.
exactly, right? And I feel like that has been completely lost
Yes.
in what we're currently getting.
Because they are catering
Yes, because
to just that Gen Z crowd.
they're the ones actually excluding people.
Exactly.
Anyone can literally sit down and watch Deep Space Nine and get something from it.
Right.
I don't care who you are, what your walk of life is. That is that is one of the most diverse casts, and it is probably my second favorite Star Trek show after the original.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That, again, you and I, because we're the age that we're at,
Yeah.
we remember that time where things just were diverse.
Yeah.
Just because it wasn't even a thing. It wasn't an issue. No one gave a shit.
Yeah.
Because there was this time where we actually did get past all of that. That was over.
Yeah.
And
you
no
go
one
back and look
cared.
at those shows in the late 90s. Yeah, after Picard, like you get Avery Brooks comes in, first black captain. It's like, I don't care.
He's a great
fucking
watched
character.
that show, but of course I'd seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
Knew he was the captain.
He's one of the best captains.
Didn't care. I didn't think, oh wow, they have one of them blacks as the captains now. That was never a thought.
No.
But they pretend like that is like, you know, like Black Panther comes out. Oh, the first black superhero. Fuck you. What about Blade? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
And when Blade
Right,
came
Blade
out,
was awesome.
When Blade came out, no one. And I always use this example, but no one cared.
Right.
No one cared.
He was just a fucking badass character.
Yes.
Everybody liked him.
Everybody did. Fucking stupid.
Yeah, but now it's like every little thing matters to them in that regard.
Because
And
that's all these fucking losers can jerk off over to is like race. That's because as long as that stuff is around, like they are able to complain about it and maintain power, basically.
Yeah, I really can't wait for you to watch episode 4.
Dude,
We get our boy Jaden.
these are this is honestly painful.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
I will say this though. Might have a hot take about episode 4. Now, while there's some fucking horrendous shit in episode 4, I did appreciate the dilemma. It felt like a Star Trek dilemma.
Well, so we're finally getting a dilemma then.
Maybe, yeah, something
Okay.
that is unique to Star Trek in that it is a dilemma where you can see both sides and understand both sides.
The nuances, the complexity of an issue.
Yes, there's a little more nuance and complexity in the issue in episode 4.
That's
I'll say
what
that.
Star Trek should be.
Yes. I guess depending on whether you guys want to hear us bitch about
Yeah,
Star Trek.
because we're late to this one.
We're a little late to this one, but if you guys really help us get this one out there, we will do the whole show. So
Yes. We'll catch up with episodes 4 through 6.
Yep.
And then after that, if these are doing well and you guys are interested, we'll do episode by
we'll
episode.
do
from then on.
episode starting with 7,
Yes.
one at a time.
Right.
So we'll be back.